Well, good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret from M.E.s Orchids, and I'm actually feeling a little bit better today, so I thought, well, here goes. It's time to feed and water some of the orchids that I've got in bloom. Now, I only use rainwater. I've got a water pot outside, and so I did a TDS without any added boiled water, because of course the water from outside is very, very cold, and you'll see the TDS was 50, but as soon as I added 1.7 litres of boiled water, it went up to 84. It does make a difference, the elements that we've got in our tap water. Then I've used ordinary calcium, which brought it up to 1.65, and then I added some seaweed extract, brought it up to 198, and you'll see the pH on just the water was 6.28, and when I'd added the calcium and seaweed extract, it went up to, when I added just the calcium, it went up to 6.11, and with the seaweed extract it went to 6.20. And I do like to do these readings. I keep all the readings, and it just gives me an idea of how high to feed them. So the next one I'm going to just show you is this this photograph here. Now, this is the Pamela Hetherington that I had from Jardin Orchidea, and that was in 2015, and that was what the bloom it showed. And this one, as I say, has never flowered for me, and then of course I got scale, so it has really thrown it back a couple of years. But when I look at it now, this is one that's just been fed this morning, and when I took it down to feed it, oh, the perfume is absolutely out of this world. It's let me just lift it this slightly up here. There we go. The three sepals, 1, 2, and that one there. I don't know that it's showing the colour right. They're just very, very pale, almost translucent. You can see, almost translucent, pale pink. And the petal, this lovely petal here, that's also very, very pale. And the other petal here, I've checked this morning, this one here, and it's the actual inside of the petal here is actually stuck around the pollinia, and so there's nothing I can do about that. As I say, yesterday I tried to, not yesterday, the day before, I just tried to prise it open a little bit, and of course I split it there. But then, if I can just manoeuvre that back a little bit, there, that's the lip. So if you can imagine, if this petal here had opened up and come back, it would have been exactly the same as that one, and that would have then shown you the lip. And that is a lovely deep purple, gorgeous, and the smell, oh, it's so heavenly scented. It's like having a bunch of freesia just pushed under your nose, and it's a shame about that, isn't it? So this one has been fed. Now, I've looked on the internet, and the only other one it can be, if it's not this actual hybrid of the Pamela Hetherington, it could be Pamela Hetherington. There's one called Coronation, but I'm not sure. And I haven't got the original label. I've only got this label I've done myself. So that's why it's usually always important to try and not get your labels mixed up. And because if you do get them mixed up or you lose them, then you've got the problem then of trying to identify them. It's a little bit disjointed, but I think I'll just lift her up a bit. There we go. It's a little bit disjointed. Sorry about that, but we'll forgive her, because at least this is, like I say, this is the first Cattleya bloom. I mean, I had that, well, the first of my Cattleya blooms. The Laelia purpurata last year already came in bud, and she's in this open basket, like I say, and those roots now, can you see the roots down there? And she's anchored down in here. I'm just looking whether there's any viable eyes now, or whether we've got to wait for this eye here. There, can you just see? To see whether that'll develop anything. So we'll put that one aside now. I do apologise about the noise. And this is the other one I've watered this morning, and of course this is Little Zorro. This is the one that's twists and turns every way. There we go. I think she's camera shy, let's put it that way. And see, so, some of the blooms can be the right way up, like that one. And I think these two there are lovely, beautiful colours. And I've put her, like I say, in this type of an open basket. And there we go, there's another bloom. And I think that's fine, because that allows the roots there to get hydrated, and then she can dry out, and I've got total control over this one. So I'll leave that one there, and I'm just lifting this tripod up now to take you to this big white one here. And sometimes the white fowls, we pass them over and people say, oh, no, they really don't do anything for me, the white fowls. But I'm sure we all had our first experience of growing orchids with a white phalaenopsis. And now I've had this 3 years before it's even bloomed, but the inflorescence, the length of this inflorescence is enormous, all the way down to there. And if we look underneath, whether it'll allow me to show you underneath, we've got another little bud developing there. And this is in that big container now, full of nutrient, and I'll leave it there for another good 10 minutes or so. And I just thought I'd bring you back just to show you that you know, about the fertilising of your orchids. I want to use this fertiliser here in this particular tub to water all the phalaenopsis, to give them a soak, and hopefully I've got another one up there with a tiny little spike starting, and I think that this mixture will just give them a little boost. So thank you for joining me this Sunday morning. Unfortunately Keith's now gone down with what I've had, and I do feel sorry for him, because it's like I say, it's not very nice, but what can you do? There we go. So thank you for joining me, take care, and if the orchids arrive tomorrow, I'll certainly do an unboxing video, because I want it on record to see how those orchids have fared in transit for a week. So I'll be back, as they say. Bye bye now.